Title: My wife texted, "I'll be staying at David's tonight, don't wait up." I replied, "Thanks for letting me know." Then I packed her entire wardrobe in boxes and left them at David's door. Start: I didn't scream when I read her text. I didn't throw the phone, didn't pace the room, didn't beg the ceiling for answers. I just stared at the words, "I'll be staying at David's tonight, don't wait up." And I typed back, "Thanks for letting me know." Calm, cold, deadly. We had 12 years together, a house we built from nothing, late-night arguments that ended in laughter, hands clasped across the dinner table, planning futures that suddenly felt like lies. I trusted her. Too much, maybe? That's the cruelest part of betrayal. It doesn't cut from the front, it slices from the blind side, the place you never think to guard. David, he wasn't a stranger. He was my friend, my best man at the wedding. He carried the rings. He toasted our love with tears in his eyes. I saw the signs before. The late texts she kept turning face down on the counter, the sudden gym memberships, perfume that lingered even when she claimed she hadn't gone out, and David's laugh, too long, too easy, whenever her name came up. But I needed proof. Pain is bearable. Doubt is corrosive. So I waited, listened, watched. I scrolled through bills, receipts, Uber rides. Her lies tripped over themselves in the details. And then, tonight, she handed me confirmation herself. A text, an unguarded, arrogant confession. She thought she could tell me, and I'd simply endure. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I started to plan. Everything had to be precise, surgical. Revenge that looks like chaos, but lands like mathematics. First, the wardrobe. Every dress, every heel, every carefully chosen outfit she wore when she wanted to feel desired, I folded it neatly into boxes. Not thrown, not trashed. Folded. Clinical, as if embalming something already dead. Second, I called my lawyer. Our accounts had been drifting lately, and I'd been careful. I separated mine from hers, moved what I could, canceled cards she'd soon discover were useless. Quiet moves, invisible at first glance. Third, the evidence. Screenshots of her texts, bank transfers to hotels, pictures, subtle and damning, gathered over weeks. All zipped into a single folder, sent to my lawyer, my cloud, my backup drive. Truth preserved. By the time I taped the last box shut, it was almost midnight. I drove to David's apartment. The city was quiet, pulsing under streetlights. The boxes filled my back seat like coffins. At his door, I stacked them neatly. Every piece of her life delivered to the man she chose over me. I taped a note to the top box. "Since you'll be staying here, you'll need these." Then I rang the bell, once, and I left. The phone rattled on the nightstand at 3:07 a.m. Her name lit up the screen. I let it buzz. Once, twice. Then I answered. Her voice cracked through the line, raw with panic. "What the hell did you do? Why are my things here? Why is David saying?" I cut her off. My tone was steady, surgical. "You texted me. You said you'd be staying at David's. I just made it easier." She stammered, words colliding in desperation. "No, it's not what you think. I needed space." I laughed, cold, sharp. "Space. You've had plenty. Hotel rooms, late nights, lies. I gave you more space than you realize." Her sobs came through the line, choked, broken. "You can't just, please, let's talk." But I was already done listening. I ended the call. By dawn, the storm had broken. Messages poured in, friends, family, even David himself. She'd told them half-truths, painted herself as the victim. But I was ready. Evidence doesn't cry. Screenshots don't beg. I released just enough to silence doubts. A few photos, a few receipts. The truth like drops of acid. Her parents called me first, silent, ashamed. Then mutual friends, their voices clipped with awkward sympathy. David? He stayed quiet. Cowards always do when the fire turns on them. And her? She tried to come home. She found the locks changed. She found her accounts frozen. She found the divorce papers waiting in her inbox, signed, sealed, and backed by evidence she couldn't fight. The last time we spoke in person was a week later, outside the courthouse. She looked smaller.
Hair unkempt, makeup smeared like old paint. "You didn't have to ruin me," she whispered. I studied her. The woman I once loved, the stranger she had become. You ruined yourself. I just gave you a mirror. Her eyes filled, but no tears fell. She turned away, hollow, carrying the weight of her choices. David wasn't there. He never would be. Betrayal burns fast, but doesn't last. I drove home alone. The house was quiet, stripped of her presence. And for the first time, silence didn't hurt. It healed. Revenge isn't about rage, it's about clarity, about holding up the truth until the liar drowns in it. She called me again once, weeks later, a late night number I didn't recognize. I didn't answer. I don't need her words anymore. I already heard the only ones that mattered, her panicked voice at 3 a.m. when the game turned and she realized she had lost. I never raised my voice. I never laid a hand. I just moved the pieces until she checkmated herself. And now, when I sleep, I hear no ghosts, just silence. The kind of silence you only earn after burning betrayal to ash.